Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Everyday Carry for the Everyday Guy. So I need to start this video off with a few apologies. One, if I sound like a bit nasally, I'm getting a cold, so I'm sorry for that. Two, I need to apologize to Eric Asachinobikadix. I said in the last video I would be reviewing his Wakazashi 2.0 holster. I don't know if you can see that against my black hoodie. Unfortunately, I can't do this because I sent my firearm away for some modifications. You'll hear more about that soon on the channel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to review my EDC backpack instead. I've got a few different views on the EDC backpack, and I'll explain that before I do the review. If you don't want to hear those views, if you just want to see the backpack, I'll show the time down below and you can skip straight to that. But maybe give this a listen because it is going to help you to understand why I'm carrying this backpack and how I look at EDC backpacks and how I outfit them. So guys, my thoughts on an EDC backpack has changed a lot, I would say, over the years. My initial backpack was a full-on tactical backpack, and I use the word tactical in inverted commas because I've come to discover a tactical backpack doesn't really, in my opinion, doesn't really exist. Tactical or tactics sort of implies that you have a predetermined view on what a piece of kit must do in order to give you an advantage in certain situations or environments. Now, there are backpacks that, for example, a 511 Rush backpack. Most of us would consider that is a tactical backpack. But in the wrong hands, if it's not outfit correctly, you lose your tactical advantage. So a tactical backpack, in my mind, is a backpack that you've looked at that caters for your specific needs and allows you to utilize it efficiently in certain environments and situations. So, for example, if I'm in the woods, then my EDC backpack is going to be very different to if I'm in the city. I'm going to carry things differently on an everyday basis if I'm out in the mountains for 3 weeks compared to whether I'm just, going from here to my office and back. Then my EDC backpack is going to change. So I sort of watered it down a lot. I mean, this is my first EDC backpack, believe it or not. It's an amazing backpack. As you can see, it's huge. It's the Sniper Tactical Expedition backpack. And when I first got this backpack, I outfitted it with everything you could possibly think of for any situation. If I could, I'd probably put a tent in that backpack as well. Because I was new to the whole concept of EDCing, I created scenarios in my head that I saw on YouTube, that I thought about from a militarian aspect, worst case scenario, doomsday scenarios. And what I found is it became so inefficient because I would want one small thing that would be laying at the bottom of the backpack, and I'd have to go through everything to get it. And so I adjusted my EDC backpack to a point where it now caters for the top 10, for example, most likely things that will happen to me on an everyday basis based on my lifestyle. There's no point in me carrying a tent in this backpack. I live in the city and I work in the city. I'm never going to need a tent. If you go on YouTube and you Google EDC backpack, you're going to see ultra-militarian backpacks with hatchets and fire starters and stoves and food, that portable stoves that you put in your backpack. And that's great, that's fine. I've got no problem with that. Remember, everything on this channel is an opinion, nothing is a recommendation. You've got to carry the tools that you feel comfortable carrying because that's going to give you the tactical advantage. But for me, I looked at it and I've said, you know what, I've got to adjust this EDC design, backpack design more to a point where it works in my daily environment. So bear that in mind when I show you what my backpack is and how I use it. So guys, this is my EDC backpack. It's called the Bowie backpack from a company called XD Design. Before I go further, I need to explain, there are a lot of knockoffs of this backpack being made. I'm not saying don't buy a knockoff. If you want to buy a knockoff, that's cool. Like no judgment or anything like that. But I cannot guarantee the non-original version is going to have the same options that the original version has. So please bear that in mind. There are a lot of bags that look exactly like this that are not real. A good way to tell is this backpack should cost you between 1,000 and 1,600 Rand. If you're paying like 200-300 Rand, you obviously are getting a knockoff. So like I say, if you want to get that, totally cool, 100%, no worries. So the reason I chose this backpack, firstly, it's the anti-theft backpack. which as you can see means that there's no way to access this backpack from the front or the sides. There's literally nothing, it just looks like a cover. The sides, top and front, are slash resistant, which is really cool. I'm not going to test that because I have some really sharp knives and I don't want to mess up my backpack. I'm sure it's going to leave like some kind of scratch mark, so I'm just going to take their website's word for it. I'm not going to get into too much of the details of the backpack because that you can find on YouTube, where they'll tell you literally how far apart the stitching is. I'm not really interested in that. What I'm more interested in is showing you how I use the backpack and the advantages it gives me. So first and foremost, just something super cool about this is, as you can see, no hands, this backpack tends to stand up by itself for no reason. I don't pack this backpack in any intelligent way. It is packed full right now. And when you put it down, it just tends to stand. As an example, this backpack is full. This one is completely empty. This is my girlfriend's one. Put it down, it stands. Like, you don't have to pack this backpack in any clever way. It's just going to stand by itself. So for the purpose of showing you the outside, I'm using my girlfriend's backpack because it's lighter and it's empty. As I said, slash resistant, waterproof, whole situation. They say it's water resistant. I've had this thing out when it was pouring down and nothing got through. This material here is very thick. Like, you're going to probably have to submerge this backpack in order to get water to go inside. The zips are hidden away. We have two zips. They are metal. I'll try to bring it up to the camera so you can see. They have like these huge metal tassels and they are lockable. I hope you can see that. Trying to get a good shot at it, but it's really difficult. They are lockable. You can put a padlock through there. And these are hidden away, so when you see the backpack from any angle or direction, you don't see anything. That's mostly what a potential thief is going to see when he looks at this backpack. They do zip all the way down. Show you. And the bag can open like a luggage bag. So you can see, like I said, this is my girlfriend's one. It's empty right now. What's also awesome about it is there's another way to open it. I'll show you that on my backpack in a second. And then I'll take you through how I've outfitted my backpacks, the pockets, and all the little features on the bag itself. So guys, we are back to my backpack, which is packed full. And as you saw in the previous shot, the bag does open like a luggage bag where it flaps open. But what it also does, and this is really cool for when you're on the go and when you get something quickly, is if you take the zips all the way down, it has these tassels on the inside, which I'll show you, which allows it to open just like quarter of the way. So you can sort of see inside your bag and just grab whatever you need and then just zip it closed again. What those tassels effectively are, try to get this in shot. I'll show it to you in a better shot a little later on. It's little Velcro strips that attach to the side of the front of the bag. And my earphones just got. And that's effectively the backpack on the inside. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go through this side of the bag, what I've got in it, why I've got that there, and then I'll go through this side of the bag, and that'll sort of give you an idea of why I chose this bag and how it provides a tactical advantage for me personally in my everyday usage. So on this side, let's start off in this pocket. I've got this here. This is effectively a paracord bracelet that doubles as a watch. And so if I'm not wearing this, then it'll be attached to this little sleeves compression strap over here. I'll show you this in more detail in a second. So that's first. And kind of like with my hiking bag, I'll show you what I've got in it. I'll explain. I'll give you sort of like a brief, maybe guesstimate of what these things cost. So if you do like it and you do want to outfit it like this, you can obviously sort of do a budget and see how expensive or how cheap what I have is. This is about maybe $200-300, not too expensive, really cool to have. And like I said, doubles as a watch, so that's really awesome. It's also got a compass on and a whistle and all those things. There are many of these, they're easily available, so I'm not going to go too much detail about that. Then this here are a pair of Mechanics Impact gloves. These are the fingerless kind. So the reason I went for this, I have to do some explaining quickly. The Mechanics gloves, firstly, they are amazing quality. Like, you're not going to break these in your lifetime. Well, you probably will, but they're going to last longer than most other kinds of gloves. And I went for the Impact simply because I thought it looked cool. I must be honest, they are a bit excessively tactical looking. I thought they wouldn't be this tactical looking, but at the end of the day, they're cool. I wear them. The reason I went for fingerless, okay, is because I have a lot of touch devices, cell phones, iPads, Kindles, even my laptop screen is touch sensitive. And some of them do have the fingertip where you can slide on a touch device, but my cell phone activates with fingerprint recognition. So I needed the situation where my fingers would go through there. Also, like when I used to work at Pin and Mart, and we used to sell gloves, obviously, and we had to explain why we sell it. Your finger is kind of like your hand, sorry, it's kind of like your body. As long as this area is warm in most normal environments, obviously if you're in Alaska and it's like -1,000,000, this doesn't apply. But in Cape Town cold weather, as long as this area is warm, the tips of your fingers will take care of itself. In the same way, if your chest is warm, the rest of your body will take care of itself. So even though they are fingerless, they do keep me warm. These are quite hard to come by. They cost about $600. However, I have found a really awesome guy called J. Peter Blanche on Facebook. I'll link to his page. He's also got an EDC review page. He is a reseller of these. So I will link to his page in my description below. Make contact with him. He's always keen to help. Super cool guy. And I'm sure he can hook you up with a pair. And then also in here is a Kindle Paperwhite. I'm old school. I do a lot of reading, and like the knowledge of the world is in books or on a Kindle in this case. And having this is just awesome. If you're sitting in a bank and you read something, if you're just waiting in general in life for anything, this is like literally almost every book you can think of having on one device. The battery lasts incredibly long. This costs about 3,500 Rand. Well worth getting if you do enjoy reading. I know a lot of people aren't sure about these things. Get yourself a Kindle Paperwhite if you're a reader and you will love it. Okay, so that's this pocket. It goes till about that deep, and it's got these compression situations to hold whatever's in there down. Then the main laptop compartment, this is how deep it is. So it holds a full-size laptop. This is a Dell laptop, really cool laptop. I do my editing on this i7, 16 gigs of RAM, really nice laptop, but I don't carry this as often. So I've got this in here to show you how deep this pocket is. And here's where I've got to sort of explain my ideas on the EDC backpack. Remember, your EDC backpack has to be adaptable because you aren't going to do the same thing every single day. You've got to be able to adapt, and it's got to be a bag that can adapt to different situations. So if I know I'm going somewhere, I'm going to be doing lots of intensive work on my PC, I'll take this. If I'm going to do editing, that kind of thing, I'll take this. Otherwise, what I will take is one of these. So either my iPad, this is, I don't even know which iPad this is, I have to be honest, which is really bad. I'll find it and I'll definitely link to it. And it's got this really cool case. I bought this at like one of these Chinese shop type things. They cost like $500. But what's really cool about it is it stands really nicely, and then you've got a keyboard situation going on. So that's super cool. I mean, that, like, how awesome does that look? Right? That's really legend. I'll try to link to all of these things, although I don't know if I'm able to link to the Chinese shop guy. That's going to be a bit difficult. But look out for it. They are available at whatever local China shop is near you. So that's that. If I'm not carrying my iPad, I'll carry one of these. So a little bit of personal life. I studied writing. Believe it or not, writing is a really good course to study if you intend to be poor for a large portion of your life. And so what I decided, I wanted a laptop that was very portable. And so I got myself this. Obviously this slides in here, ultra easy, it's gone. And so this is a full functioning laptop, but also a tablet, which I really like. This costs, depending on what brand you buy and where you buy it, between 5,000 and 7,000 Rand. If you do a lot of simple things on the go, this is really cool. However, do bear in mind that the memory capacity on these things is very low. You're going to get like 32 to 64 gigs. So you might have to get yourself a external memory card type thing or an external hard drive if you are going to go this route as your primary laptop. So guys, this is the other side of the backpack. So this was the initial side that I just showed you now. This is the other side. And the way the bag opened sort of partly was these little Velcro strips with a clip attaches to this Velcro strip over here. And there's another one on this side as well. And then it opens sort of just a bit. I don't always carry these. I'll only use if I know I'm going to be somewhere for quite a while. I love listening to music. These are the Bluetooth T3 Turbine headphones. They are amazing headphones for the price. They're around 2,500 rand. They have 57mm drivers. If you don't know what that is, check that out. It gives you incredible bass. Really cool. If you like music, get yourself one of these. This is an amazing pair of headphones. I also use these to do my sound editing because they're so clear and so bassy and so nice. Definitely to get you one of those. Water bottle. I don't like carrying my water bottle on the outside of my bag in life for two reasons. One, when I bend over, it falls over. Two, I've had one stolen out of the outside pockets without me even knowing. And I really like my water bottle. So this water bottle slides in there, and when I do want a sip of water, I just have to go through call it the rigmarole of opening my backpack and taking out the water bottle. But yeah, that just is what it is. I wanted my bottle inside my backpack. So that slides neatly into this pocket over here. Okay, moving on. Sorry, this costs about 250 rand. And I told you what the Bluetooth headset costs. In this pocket over here, we have a med kit. As with all my med kits, in my previous video as well, I'm not going to tell you what I put in here because that is sort of your own thing. It's almost too important for me to give you ideas about what to put in the med kit. You've got to put the tools in there that you are able to use, that you are comfortable to use, and that you are willing to use. So in my opinion, you shouldn't put anything in your med kit that you are not trained to use because it will more than likely cause more damage. That's only an opinion. It's not a recommendation. However you want to outfit it, you're welcome to outfit it. I can tell you the contents of this med kit cost about 800 rand. I will show you the emptied med kit and one or two things that I do keep in there in a second. Okay, what else? We have an external hard drive. This is a 2 terabyte external hard drive. I'm not going to give you the cost of these because they vary. So it's going to be around 1,500 rand. Obviously, you know what that's used for. And that's that pocket empty. So we've got these two pockets over here. One is a bit bigger than the other one. And then we're going to go on top here to this pocket. Obviously, we've got two pens. Sorry, not one pen and one Koki for obvious reasons. And then a writing pad, which costs, I hope you can see, 790 cents. Very expensive. And another power bank. You probably saw one of these in my video of my hiking bag. I've got like 3 or 4 of these. This is the Romos. I think it's like either 15 or 25,000 milliamp. I can't remember. But they hold the charge really well. As I said in my previous video, these are really good power banks. You can like charge it and like not charge it for like the next 6 months. And when you plug something into it, it's still got the full charge. I don't know if all power banks do that, but I'm really happy with this one. This costs, I think it was like between 400 and 600 rand. I can't remember exactly. So, you know, if you do need power on the go, remember cell phones these days last like 15 minutes and they're dead. Definitely invest in one of these. And the way this works is there's a cord that comes from the inside of the bag, plugs into here, and I'll show you where this cord goes to in another shot. That's everything that's in here. And then what we have in here is the cable to my external hard drive, as well as one of these. This is really cool. So this is a 32 gig memory stick, but what's cool about it, and I can't get this thing on properly now. Anyway, irrelevant. What's cool about it is it's got the normal USB situation on the one side, and then it's got like the cell phone connector type deal on the other side. So what that means is you can transfer things directly from your cell phone onto the stick and vice versa. That's ultra cool. Won't work with Apple, unfortunately, for obvious reasons. There are going to be Apple lovers and haters. I don't really care to love or hate them. I use it when I use it and I don't use it when I don't use it. But this costs about, I think it's like 700 bucks. Really cool to have if you do a lot of data transfer and things like that. And then also on the inside, there's a little pocket over here. Right there. I'll try to get this in shot. There's a little pocket right there. And what I've got in there is a can of pepper spray. I've got a few of these. This is the SWAT variant. I don't know if they are better or worse than any others. I was in a gun store and a policeman said I should buy this, and I thought, well, policemen tend to know what they're talking about. This costs about 150 bucks. And I just keep pepper sprays in random pockets in my backpacks, just as backups. This is not like going to be my go-to tool of choice. Those things I'll have to be carrying on my body, because in a high stress situation, there's no way I'm getting into this backpack and pulling out pepper spray. Okay, and that is it for the inside of the backpack. So there are two further pockets. These pockets are actually on the outside, but I'm going to show them to you anyway. There's one here, and what I keep in here is an iPod. I think it's called the Shuffle or the Nano, or I can't remember which one it's called. I initially had the one that had the whole screen, but that buttons kept breaking. The on-off button kept just like sort of being depressed to a point where you couldn't press it anymore. So I got this one. These are now discontinued. As I said, I listened to a lot of music, so this was like, I think like 1,200 rand. I can't remember exactly. I've had it for years. But just a music playing device, an MP3 music playing device in this pocket. And then on the other side, to show you how deep these pockets are, so the pocket I'm going to open now is the same pocket as on this side. I have my charging cable for my Dell laptop. That's the really big one. Charging cable and power bank for the Dell laptop, and nothing else in those pockets. So I'm going to show you some more outside shots now, and then we'll go from there. So guys, I did mention about this med kit, and I'll show you like certain things that I do have in them. But before I show you that, I just want to show you the med kit itself. It's got like this situation where you can put your hand through there, and there's the Velcro patch, obviously. And then inside, I'll see if I can flip it around for you. You've got like these compression tassel type situations on the inside. So a couple of things I do carry inside here. This is, you know, you get this on an aeroplane. It's like a travel pack, and this things that's in here is like, you know, the eye cover and a small toothbrush and things like that. The reason I keep this in there is because if I do go somewhere and I'm unexpectedly stay the night, there's a lot of things I can deal with, but not brushing my teeth is not one of them. And this has like a small toothbrush in it and all those things as well. So I just keep this with me for when I unexpectedly sleep over at places that I don't plan to. And then this as well, floss. I can't deal with like things like, I got a teeth problem, I don't know. I'm very fussy about that. And then a torch. This is the True Light Mini. Really nice torch, aircraft grade, anodized aluminium, glass breaker thing on the front, 2 modes, like sort of high and low. Not ultra bright, but I mean usable bright. And then as a backup, if I, for some other reason, lose or my EDC knife malfunctions, I've got the Honey Badger large assisted opening folder. Really cool knife. Really, it's obviously local, which I like. Opens. It's got a very smooth opening action. Check this out. Like, how smooth is that? Just to get that in shot. There we go. Super smooth. And what happens is, as you take it out of your pocket, this tooth sort of hooks on your pocket and then pulls the knife open. I'll see if I can show you afterwards when I'm showing you what the backpack looks like on my back. Pulls the knife open, and this is the large, so that's kind of how big the blade is. Just before I end, guys, there is one more very important thing that this backpack does offer me in the way I've outfitted it, and that is space. So, like I said, I do a lot of reading. I've read a very famous book by someone called Sun Tzu, the famous Chinese general, called The Art of War. And one of the things he puts in that really resonated with me was, in combat, have no set strategy. Make adaptability your only strategy. And I found that when I carried a bag that was packed full of everything, I had no ability to adapt to any kind of change in the environment. If I bought something, I now had to carry my backpack with whatever I bought in my hand because it was so stuffed full of things that I ended up not needing. I ended up creating scenarios in my head for things that would never ever really happen, or the likelihood of them happening was so low. So just an opinion, don't forget, when you are carrying a backpack, One of the main functions of that is to allow you some storage and adaptability for storage. So if you do pick up something on your way, if you want to take your jacket off, you should have that option to put that jacket in your backpack and have enough space in order to do that. So guys, just to end off, I'm going to show you what the backpack looks like on my back and just a few more little features about the bag that I think is awesome. Firstly, these shoulder straps are incredibly thick. I'll just show you quickly. Like, they're really thick, and they're probably the most comfortable shoulder straps of any bag that I own. They are really comfortable, really thick. They have that breathable mesh on the inside as well. I'll show you a bit more about that in a second. And they also have these pockets. So what these pockets do is they're just like sort of small little wallets. They go quite deep, and I find keeping some cash in there, loose cash, and also, you know, when you pull into a mall, they give you those tickets, those parking tickets. These work. I'm sorry, I'm looking off to the side because I'm just checking the screen as well to make sure it's phone focus. These work really well for holding those tickets so you don't lose them. So that's really cool. I'm going to do a full 360 so you can see what the bag looks like on my back. It really does hug your back really nicely. So also full shot. Hugs your bag really nicely. It's very comfortable. The way it holds weight is sort of towards your lower back at that kind of angle. And it makes the bag really comfortable. The design is really urban, really cool looking, in my opinion, very grey man, but also has the tactical, and I'm using inverted commas hugely, tactical advantages. So just a few more things. That power bank cable links to this over here. And then you plug whatever cable into there, and you plug it into your phone or your laptop or whatever other charger. And then the bag also has another pocket. I'm hoping you're getting this in. Over here. This is quite a big pocket, and it's empty. I keep nothing in here. Just a spare pocket for little things. And also this little strip over here. So what this is for is when you are on or going on an aircraft and you have that aircraft luggage with the extendable telescopic handle, that little strip of material, it's like seatbelt material, slides over there so you can drag your bobby backpack and your luggage with one handle. So that is the backpack, guys. I think I've covered all of it. There are just a few more things, like, if you can see, it's got the reflector strips over here as well as a reflector strip over here. The compression tassels on here, they do sort of fold up quite nicely, so it's this really cool minimal design. I will link to the website of this backpack if you want to go check out more about it. And that's it. Really cool backpack. I really enjoy having it. I know it's not going to be for everybody. Not most of us, a lot of us want that tactical looking backpack with a molly webbing and 700 pockets and all those things. That's cool. If that's what you like, 100%, I don't mind. At the end of the day, remember, nothing on this channel is a recommendation. Everything is an opinion. So that's it from me, guys, for this video. I hope you enjoy it. If you are following me on Facebook or Instagram, you will know that I sent my firearm away for some modifications, and when I get that back, I'm going to run a competition, which is massive. If you're not following me coincidentally, please click the links below. I'll link my Facebook and Instagram pages below. Please click follow and check that out. I always try to post cool original content on there. And then, yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Have a good week. Cheers. God bless.